Okay, starting the stream now. I always seem to have some sort of connectivity problem when I start it, but a couple of restarts fixes it for some unexplained reason. Not sure what's the cause behind it, but I can live with this. As usual, I'll start in a couple of minutes. Maybe 5 minutes after 10 p.m. here. That is 8 p.m. GMT. Okay. Oh, everything seems to be working fine, so we're good. Okay, it's 8, so might as well start. Hello, watchers. Welcome to the day 3 of the Core Anticipation Gaming stream series. I am Old Nile. Welcome to my stream. Now, like I said in the previous streams, and on certain areas of social media, that is Twitter, most prominently, that today's topic, or more like game, will be Mount & Blade Warband. Now, if you're familiar with the game, basically this is not exactly a fantasy game, because most of it is just based on real life stuff, more like a historical RPG, I suppose, with fictional locations in it and fictional people. But the setting, the equipment of people, the clothing, armor, various field units, they are very realistic. So it's not as there is no magic, there is no demons, which is, well, obviously a little bit of a minus in our case if we are trying to emulate a setting fitting to the demon cycle. No demons here, there are no wards, no magical symbols of protection, no magic. But we do have the role of a warlord. Well, I mean, an emerging and aspiring warlord who has the ability to gather a big, well, more or less big, fighting force behind him and go around in the world and do as he pleases. Of course, you can also side up with the various factions, I mean, more like the various kingdoms located in this rather fragmented and, fragmented land here, called Calradia, I think. Yeah, Calradia. So basically, this situation sounds like the perfect role from the Demon Cycle roster for no one else than Aman Jardir, the Shardamaka himself. Now, the setting itself is pretty lucky for this, because the map of Calradia actually kind of reminds me of the map of Thesa and Grazer, so the world of the Demon Cycle, because down here you have basically, well, this desert area, which is like the Crasian Desert, and above it there's a lot of green area, a lot of forests and, fertile ground, which is kind of like the areas of Risen. What is that? The name is escaping my mind right now. So the forest fortress. Good timing to forget like one of the most. Uh, why? Why does this? Why can't I remember such a easy name? Wow, this is wow. I'll probably remember if I don't actually try to remember something that I forgot. So up here it's basically a more snowy area, which is kind of like wow. Why can't I remember Milne? Milne. And I don't know. It's probably that all the games that I have played recently, and there are a lot of different names for places. And I'm just, it's just all jumbled up in my head, and it's just one of those moments where I know that I should know this name of this place. I'm pretty sure it starts with an A. That's much is granted, but I can't, for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of. No, still not. Kind of like a French sounding name, but this is really embarrassing. But oh well, I'll probably remember it like 10 minutes from now when I'm like totally discussing something else. Okay. Oh, I think I almost remembered. And never mind. Okay, let's move on. This is not. So, currently our main hero here is, like I said, Jardir. And basically, your role in the game, like I said, is to collect a force of warriors behind you, and from that point on, you wander around in this on this map of Caradia, and you are pretty free to do however you please. You can go the bandit route and just basically pillage every village you meet, attack everyone you see, and just be a terrible person as much as you can. Just attack villagers, caravans. Of course, it could be profitable if you just loot everything and defeat everyone you meet. But you also get a lot of enemies, and that's not exactly the best way to survive in this world. It's nice to have friends. So what I did with my character here, of course, as you can see, you can customize your character pretty well too. I mean, I have gathered a lot of different armor pieces. This is like really strong stuff, and it also kind of fits the clothing I would imagine Jardir would wear in the books. Well, obviously less metal. I mean, he has a lot of like chainmail maybe and plate mail on him right now, but there is this black, well, not exactly a robe, but kind of like, not even sure what this would be called. So anyway, like an armored overcoat, I guess, kind of like a robe. And of course there's the turban, the veil, which is currently not on his face, and I suppose in this case, in this rendition of Jardir, this helmet could double as the crown of Kaji, I guess. And he has a shield and a spear. Let's just assume that this is not the spear of Kaji or the spear of Aman, as he later rebranded it, but more like a placeholder for it. Basically, this is what he uses to defeat human targets in this world. And it was also a nice touch that you can actually choose a flag for your main character, and this flag reminds me a lot of how the flag of Kraja was described in the books. Like, I think it was two spears and a shield in front of them, or behind them, whichever. So that was a pretty nice touch. So yeah, as expected, I aligned myself with the kingdom of the desert people. Currently here they are called the Saranid Sultanate. But but they are pretty similar. I mean, probably in no small thanks to me and my efforts, but they are pretty successful. I mean, originally the Serenid Sultanate's territory less from this city called Sheriz, and basically just all the um, desert area that you can see here. This mountain ridge, basically this is the natural border of the Serenids. And over here, this kind of like grayish green area used to belong to a different kingdom, the Khergit Khanate, if I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, they decided to wage war on us, the Serenids, and we sort of took over the whole place. Kind of like what happened to Risen, I guess, in the second book. But it was a lot longer. It was a lot longer battle than the, well, if we can call it the Battle of Risen. It was more like an ambush, and whoop, suddenly the city and the surrounding villages are now under Kraysian control. Who knew? Okay, so like I said, the Serenids are doing pretty well for themselves, and same applies to me as well. I'm not the leader of the Serenid Sultanate yet. I'm only a warlord. I'm doing pretty okay. I mean, if you perform pretty well in the game and you are aligned to one of the kingdoms, to be more accurate, if you are a vassal of a kingdom, then you get well, more or less regular rewards, mostly fiefs, like small villages, which you can use to recruit, you know, a standard, well, the most basic soldiers, but you can upgrade them as they gain experience. So that's one benefit. And they also pay you a regular, what is it called? Let's see, reports budget. So, well, here they are called rents, which is a little bit weird. I'm guessing they are not paying any right now because the enemy sort of looted those 4 or 3 villages that I currently own as Jardir. But yeah, they give you a regular amount of money, supposing that the enemy is, you know, staying away from them. And I'm on good terms with the leader, the Sultan of the Serenids, so that obviously helps. If you are if you have a good relationship with the kingdom you are related to, then they are more likely to, you know, side with you in case there is a vote on who should get the for instance, a recently captured fort or a new village. So yeah, there is a bit of politics involved in the game, which is fitting because as the books progress, there also have been, you know, increasing amounts of, you know, political intrigue involved. So it wasn't just, you know, adventures of the Warden Man and Lisha and Roger and everyone else, but more like, you know, Kraysian politics as well. That's, as the books progressed, it became like a bigger part of the whole world. Okay, so what do we do here? Currently, as it stands, we are not in conflict with any of the other kingdoms here, which is a pretty rare thing. In Calradia, basically, there is a constant conflict because everyone is trying to become the king. And that is also kind of similar to the Teasan political climate, I guess, because there used to be a king. I mean, I think it was in the first book where it was mentioned. Not so much in the later books, I think. Maybe partly in the second one, but in the first one it was mentioned that there was a, you know, a common kingdom, and because of the demon war, the last demon war, the world became fractured. There have, you know, the kingdom sort of got not separated, but like split up into like small city-states, I guess. I still can't remember the fortress's name. This is bad. Anyway. So like I said, it's kind of similar in this respect. Obviously, there are a lot more cities here than in Tisa and Krasia combined, but there's plenty to go around, and there are a lot of small villages and lots to do. Also, there are a lot of roaming bandits, deserters, basically unaligned units which you can interact with. Well, obviously, in the most cases it's fighting, so not too surprising. So right now I'm just going to go around and see what sort of adventures I can get myself into as Jardir here. It would have been more ideal if there was an actual active war going on between the Sarranids and some other kingdom, but for now we'll just make do with what we can. Maybe we can win a tournament for starters, which is something that you can do. So, as you saw before, that was the overhead, the map view, where when you and your army is represented by a little knight riding around on the map. And here, when you enter a town, or if you enter a battle situation, then it switches over to this view, where you control your main character. And here you can interact with various, NPCs in the world. For instance, here, Tournament Master. What would you like to do? Well, let's find out if there is a tournament around soon. That's Sargoth, Yelkala, and Amerad. Okay, I think all of those are pretty far from here. There was Yelkala. Sargoth is over here. It belongs to the Nords. And Yelkala and Amerad, I think, was the last one. Oh, that's right here. Well, I suppose we could ride to Amerad then and win a tournament on home turf, as they say. Oh, Angia's, or Angia, I'm not sure. That was the forest. I knew I would remember if I wasn't actively thinking about it. So yeah, that was the forest fortress, Angia. Still not sure. It sounds like a French name. So I'm guessing the S at the end is silent, so it's Angia. Sounds alright. Okay. So the pace of the game, it kind of varies. I mean, right now we are just heading over to Amerad to see this tournament, see if we can still participate in that, which would be pretty fun. But there is not much else happening right now on the map. I mean, we don't really have to expect like enemy lords attacking us. Basically, I have a big enough fighting force of 99 men, plus me, of course, and this single prisoner that I took a while ago. And basically, because of me being this strong in numbers, all of these desert bandits are just fleeing. Oh, desert bandits have attacked these villagers. We have to aid them, as we do. Amon Jardir fights for the unity of the people, and this is just not fitting, especially not on Krasian. I mean, Sarranid lands. I'll probably get that mixed up. Okay, so battle situation. We have a lot of horsemen. I mean, this is a pretty one-sided fight here. There you go. Okay, let's try and make sure that we are not hitting our people. Okay, they are using throwing spears too. So do I. It takes a little bit to learn how to throw weapons effectively from horseback. But when you do, it's pretty powerful. I mean, there's no problem with my own soldiers getting the kills. which means that they will level up more, and not me. I'm already pretty powerful here. Yep, we were victorious, not a really big surprise. No casualties, they have a lot of casualties. Thank you for your help, sir, you saved our lives out there. Yeah, so basically this is a good way to, well, one way, I mean, on one hand, to, you know, sort out a couple of bandits and get experience. And sometimes it also increases your relationship with the party that you ride in to defend. Like for instance, if another lord that you are allied with would get attacked by bandits and you rode in to help him with, you know, defeating the bandits, then your relationship with that lord would increase. So it's pretty handy to keep an eye out for these things. Okay, so this is the tournament situation. Basically, we'll be put in an arena with, well, different, random, probably a better word, random equipment. Sometimes you are on horseback, sometimes you're not, sometimes you have a bow and arrows, sometimes throwing weapons, sometimes a two-handed sword, so it's random most of the time. And, well, before you enter the fight, you can also bet on yourself. I'm pretty confident with tournaments, so I always bet a lot of coin on my own victory, so it always happens. Okay, we are doing... Oh, okay, this is something up in my alley, throwing weapons. So I'm with the red team in this fight, so I have to aim for the guys in blue and yellow, and maybe green if they are here. I haven't seen them yet. Okay, yellow guy, there you go. Oh. I also built Jardir's character to be, you know, be close to his book form or original version as much as possible. I mean, he would be good with riding a horse. That has been established in the books. He is obviously someone who has trained from his childhood to use spears and shield. So, you know, the spear and shield combo. Also, he would be obviously good with throwing these throwing spears here, called Jarids, I think. Pretty close to his name, actually. There you go. Oh, gotta be careful here. Okay, let's get in a couple of good throws here. There you go. Another one there. One here. Making it look easy. There you go. Sounded like that was a... wait, who is left? Oh, they're just stuck in there in the corner. So yeah, I trailed off for a second there. So it sounded like it was one of the Sharum Thing among the enemy, a female warrior, which is good. They can be capable warriors. In fact, I have a couple of Sharum Thing in my own army as well. So basically we are like end of book 2 warrior. I mean our state, the state of my army is kind of like the end of book 2, where Jardir actually started recruiting women as part of his army as well. And the Kasharum, of course, you know, the worker caste of the Krasians. Sometimes I find, after a battle, I find a bunch of, you know, peasants and, you know, not your average warrior types as hostages that the enemy took. And sometimes I recruit them, and you can actually improve their equipment as they gain experience in fighting. I mean, obviously they they have a hard time, you know, getting XP in battles. If you have a training skill, or I mean, if you have some skill in the training ability as your character, then at the end of every day, you can also impart some of the experience, I mean some experience to your units. So that's one way to level up your weakest units to more capable fighters. There we go. That went in right nicely. I like the outfit too. Well, except the yellow thing going on with my rope here, but the turban and the veils are there. That's cool. Okay, let's just stab this guy in the face here, and we have one. Okay, max bats here. Fight in the next round. Okay, pole arms this round. This is up in my alley once again. Well, that's unlucky for you. It's 2 against 1. Shouldn't be a problem. That went in nicely. Well, should have used that shield. He blocked it. Well, if he keeps this up, sorry, my ability of speech is just leaving me, it would seem. So eventually his shield would break. If, I mean, her shield actually, now that she actually cried out like that. Block. So the shield would break eventually, so you can only use your shield so much in one battle. There we go, speaking of which. Okay, open wide. Oh, she blocked it with the sword this time. Okay, there we go. Oh. Okay, so tier 4 of the tournament, 8 participants left. Next round, 3 teams, 1 fighter each. So basically I'll be alone against 2 other combatants. Max bats, obviously. Okay. Sort of cowardly to attack someone from behind, which is not something that Jardir would do, I know that, but we have to make advantage of everything that you see. There you go. Well, that went right in your face. Okay, 2 teams with 2 fighters. Yes? Oh, okay. Okay, throwing round. Let's just stop here and... Oh, one of them is down. Of course, if I wanted to, I could use the throwing jarrets to stab the enemy with. Basically, you just press a button and you no longer throw the weapon, you just use it to fight in melee. Where is my other? Oh. That's weird. Oh, apparently it was my guy who was defeated, from the look of things. Oh, it would seem time alone then. Not even sure what this guy is using. Is he throwing rocks at me? Whatever, I'll just stab him. If I can. Well, the horse is down, it would seem. Not exactly what I wanted to do. Oh, that worked. one strategy would be to bait her into leaving the safety of her shield and just throw in a javelin at that exact time when she lowers the shield. Or we can do this. It's like a duel. Okay, well, the shield is broken. You have lost. Serena was her name. Okay, probably a unique NPC. Okay, last round is the polearm situation. Thank you for... Oh, he lived through that. So it's probably the horse who received the blunt of that strike. Oh, he's on the defense. I'll defend this. Oh, that went right in your face again. Well then, we have won nearly 4,000 dinars out of this. This is why I like tournaments. It's very lucrative, especially at the beginning. Well, obviously you have to train yourself a bit to become a good fighter, but it happens pretty easily. I mean, happens over time with practice. Okay, now, as you would imagine, in an RPG, you don't just gather up a big force and just ride around happily in the realm and destroy everything. You also have to do some amount of management of your army. Of course, this is not something that Jardir would, by default, he would not find this, you know, important, but if you have read the second book, the Desert Spear of the series, then you will be familiar with the fact that he actually recognizes his friend Aban's importance, with him being a trader and not a fighter due to his injured leg. So Aban would be more, he would have a more a realistic view of, you know, running an army, as Jardir and his companions find out in one of the chapters of the book. Of course, you have to feed an army. You have to finance, you know, the wages of your army. And this is also a thing that you have to do in this game. Here, well, basically all my equipment, or more like my inventory, consists of various types of food here. Your army also has a morale meter, which is partly influenced by, well, you know, you winning battles, the unit types, and especially the unit nationalities of your army. Like here, so if you have morales from various kingdoms of the, you know, of the realm, then that can influence the the morale of your troops. It also depends on your leadership skills, obviously. Like I said, food variety also helps. Winning battles is a big boost to it, obviously. If you lose a battle, then your soldiers tend to get, you know, discouraged by that. So if morale is really low and you get into a battle situation, then there is a danger of your troops just running away and fleeing from the battlefield, which is not ideal. Okay, well, we have won the tournament here, not unexpectedly. We have a good amount of dinars here. Some of the soldiers are ready to upgrade. This is the training skill that I was talking about earlier, so let's just have a look at my army here. Okay, so whenever there's a plus sign next to a unit, that means that you can upgrade that particular unit. Sometimes there are also, you know, like a crossroads, so you either go this way or that way. So let's see, in the case of a skirmisher, we can upgrade them to become a horseman. Serenade skirmisher becomes a Serenade archer. Well, think of them as the mending tribe of the books. they are not up close combatants, not melee fighters, but more like they use war machines like kind of like a ballista, but there it's called a scorpion. So like big fixed position crossbows basically, and various other types of siege weapons. But here they are my archers, and some of them are pretty beastly looking, and they are very accurate with their bows. Okay, we have the option of, well, the lancer I would assume is a melee fighter, and the horse archer is pretty self-explanatory. Let's get some more close-up combatants. Okay, we have crossbowman, Serenade Master Archer, Caravan Guard. I probably rescued this guy from a bandit group, and I recruited him to join our ranks. Let's turn him into a swordsman. Nice. Should probably have good armor. Okay, get some more Master Archers. I mean, not unexpected that if you have higher level units in your group, then obviously the wages will become higher too, but currently I can handle that. Well, partly because, well, I just want a bunch of cash, but there's also the, the villages regularly paying me, my dues, and that of course helps with, my weekly budget. Veteran Horse Archer here, Vager Skirmisher, the recruits. I mean, this is basically how every single unit starts in the game when you recruit recruits from the villages that I talked about earlier. And as they gain experience, you upgrade them. And as I showed you a second ago, you can sort of tell them to go the archer route or the melee route. Sometimes the cavalry route too. So you can tailor your army to your liking. So if you're okay with, you being the only melee fighter in your group and everyone else is just an archer, you can totally do that. You also get named NPCs that you can join you. Sometimes you have to pay them a certain amount of money, but after that they are a pretty good asset because they cannot die. All the other units, they can die unless someone in your party or you has first aid skills or surgery skills. That's not something Aman Jardir would be familiar with, I think. I mean, he is no Demeting after all. But you can totally have a separate character who is a separate NPC who is familiar with, say, surgery, and that would decrease the chance of a unit dying in battle. Okay, weekly budget. A lot of green numbers, which is good. So we actually gained money here, like 800 dinars. Good stuff. Okay, well, let's ride out into the Greenlands and see what we can find. Quest failed. Oh, I was supposed to save a village. Whoops. That would have been a nice thing to do. Yeah, sometimes I haven't mentioned this before, but you can also get quests from various sources in the game. The most common one being, other lords in the realm. But sometimes you ride into a village and you find out that it's actually like overtaken by bandits. Let's get some Kurgan tribesmen here. And if you liberate the village from, the bandits, then, well, the villagers will be grateful. They will award you with certain items like food and tradable goodies. But you also have the option of, turning the rewards down, saying that you didn't do it for, gaining stuff, which they will find it honorable, and they will also like you a lot more. Okay, let's fight this group of deserters here. Well, we actually got some more XP here. Crossbowman, Skirmisher, Serenades. Let's get some more horsemen too, that's nice. Kurgit Lancers. Militia shall become. Let's get some skirmishers too. The Vaegir Footmen and another skirmisher. Okay, after the deserters. Jardir does not tolerate cowards on the battlefield. Yeah, this might take a while. Oh, hello, there's a battle. Oh yeah, it is the Kingdom of Rhodoks and the Swadian Kingdom. They are currently at battle with each other, which is not exactly a fair battle, considering that, well, most of the Swadians, the locations you can see in orange, they are not exactly populated anymore. They probably still have the amount of lords they had at the beginning of the game, but they have 2 castles and 2 villages, which is basically nothing. They don't really have the sources to fund a big army, and they don't really have any recruiting villages, unless they, you know... I'm not sure how NPCs actually recruit troops, so... Well, somehow they still put up a fight up against the Rhodoks, the guys in green up here. They are not doing too bad for themselves. Okay. We are the Free Brothers. We will fight only for ourselves from now on. You give us your gold or taste our steel. Well, that's a pretty bold thing to say to the Shar Namaka. When I'm done with you, you'll regret ever leaving your army. Okay. 104 troops fit for battle against their 50. This should be interesting. Now this time I will not just blindly charge into the fight because, well, earlier it was easier because we had a bunch of dudes and they had like 5 desert troops, I think. Okay, let's actually play it tactically. You can tell your troops to, you know, follow certain tactics. Like I just order my archers to line up back there. And I should probably tell them to hold their fire for now until those guys get closer. They should actually go up higher there. Okay. Okay, well these guys are all infantry, so we have an advantage here. Okay, archers are now free to fire at will. And I shall order my cavalry and my infantry to charge in. And I will lead them, if they weren't so fast. I have a pretty heavy warhorse, which is, it's very well armored, but as a result it is also slow. Okay, let's actually use a spear for fighting this time around. Well, these guys didn't last very long. So yeah, in bigger battles, I mean, this was a big battle only in numbers. It was very easy. These are just standard archers of the Sarranids. But in a bigger battle where you have a serious enemy, it is usually worthwhile to, you know, observe the battlefield, you know, put your archers up high on, you know, top of a hill or a mountain even, if that's the case. And just, well, you know, play tactically, don't just blindly charge into the battle alone. Have your units in a good position. If the area is very rocky or it's just in mountains, then you can also tell your cavalry to get off their horses, because horses have a hard time, you know, climbing up a mountain, obviously. It's easier on foot. Okay, we are victorious. No casualties. We are proper Krasian troops down to the core. No pun intended. And we got some dinars out of this. And XP, of course. Let's get more Lancers. Nice. We can get 5 Serenade Guards. Let me just show you how these guys look like. Look at this. Beastly. Okay, Master Archer. Hunter shall become the Slave Crusher. Slave Crusher is... okay, yeah, pretty good. More veteran horse archers from the Kurgats, the defeated kingdom. Okay. Emir Ganava of Serenade Sultanate was defeated in battle by one. We are not at war with anyone from what I remember. Let's see. Okay, so we have a truce with the Swardians, which will expire in 32 days. Another truce with the Nords. And no beef with the Rhodoks or the Vaegirs at this present time. But who knows? Political situation just changes all the time. I mean, we haven't had any war or, conflicts with the Vaegirs, the guys in Grey, let's say. But I think it's totally plausible that they would just have a, decide that, well, we are going to attack these Saranids now. The game is kind of unpredictable like that. There are some things that influence, a certain kingdom sending, declaring war on another one. Sometimes, I don't know, there are cases where a lord would, act independently of the king that he belongs to. And sometimes kings don't like that because, well, that, causes, conflict or tension between two particular kingdoms. And sometimes that just reaches a state where one kingdom would retaliate against the kingdom of that particular lord who took the independent action. Well, let's actually pay a visit to this place and see if they have a quest for us. I have to look for the village elder here. The speaker of the village, if you will. Easy to locate because that's the only NPC in these villages which are stationary, so look for the guy who doesn't walk around all the time. Is it... no, that's a villager. Sometimes they are a bit hard to find. Could be up there behind that house, or just somewhere where I haven't been yet. Sometimes they are in front of a campfire. Oh, right, there he is. Village elder. Good afternoon, good sir. Welcome to Tebandra. I am the elder of this village. Do you have any tasks I can help you with? My good sir, our village has been going through such hardships lately. The harvest had been bad, and recently some merciless bandits took away our seed grain that we had reserved for the planting season. If we cannot find some grain soon, we will not be able to plant our fields, and we will have nothing to eat for the coming year. If you can help us, we will be indebted to you forever. How much grain do you need? I think 4 packs of grain will let us start the planting. Hopefully we can find charitable people to help us with the rest. Then I will go and find you the grain you need. Thank you, sir. We'll be praying for you night and day. That will not be necessary. Also, make sure it's Everam you pray to. Otherwise I will be back. With a bunch of damas. With their Alagai tails on their belts. Okay, so let's just get some grain for these people. Let's ride to the closest city that we can find here, Ravadin. I'm just going to pay a visit to the market there. Vaegirs seem to be on the move a lot. They sort of converged in this area. Wonder why. Hopefully they are not going to declare war on us at this exact moment where I'm like doing some shopping in the middle of their, well, in their midst. Well, turns out this place has no grain whatsoever. A lot of wool, furs, tools, raw silk. We can buy food. I mean, that's a nice thing. Let's get some cheese and some bread. I tend to avoid food that gets bad. I mean, dried meat, cheese, bread, smoked fish, fruit, these don't spoil. Some other types of food do, so I just don't buy that sort of stuff. A book merchant. You can use books to increase some of your skills if you read them when you set up your camp. But they are pretty expensive. Realistically so. I mean, book printing or book making in this well, setting, I mean, medieval ages, I guess, would have been a pretty lengthy process with no printing press present. Village farmer, I'll let them be. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's a wall of text. Something is going down in the North Kingdom. Like, two different lords have been in, what was the word? Indicted for treason. So basically they have left. Where is the Tabandra? Yeah. So those lords have defected from their kingdom, the one they belong to, and now they probably serve some other kingdom. Same here. Okay, that lord left for the Swadians, which is why would you even? Okay, another one joined the Nords. Okay, let's bring the wheat back to Tabandra, which will increase our relationship with them. Wow, a lot of people are abandoning the Vaegirs here. Someone just left the Rhodoks. This just happens all the time. Oh, hello, battle. Fun times ahead. Glory for our Sharum. Okay, I'll just deliver this stuff for the Elder. And then we are going out and we're just going to spread the word of Everam to the lands of the Rhodoks. The Daylight War continues in Mountain Blade Warband. Here you go. My good lord, you have saved us from hunger and desperation. We cannot thank you enough, but you'll always be in our prayers. The village of Tabandra will not forget what you have done for us. And as you can see, our relation now is cooperative. Thank you. I'm actually not sure what other rewards he gave me, but that is fine. A village that you are in a good relationship with is always a reward of its own. Okay, now let's ride in this direction and see if we can jump into some battle going on. It is possible that our guys, the Sarranids, have already started sieging a place. Sieges are the real deal. They are the biggest fights that you can get into. They usually involve multiple lords at the same time, and of course, well, it is also a siege, so not like a fight in open grounds, but you're either defending or attacking a castle or a fort, a city, wherever. And they also take a bit of time. Okay, so let's ride towards the Rhodoks here. I'm not sure what the plan of the Sarranids is. I'll probably meet someone on the way and I'll ask them. Also, I should probably level up my soldiers because the situation just became grave with the prospect of glory in the future. Swardian skirmisher. Let's train the tribesmen. Let's get some Vaegir veterans here. That's good stuff. If you are watching now and you have no idea what all this stuff I'm talking about is, like Demon Cycle, Jardir, uh, Everam, anything that I mentioned that has nothing to do with the game, it is related to the Demon Cycle series, fantasy, a dark fantasy novel series that I like a lot, and two parts of which I have translated into my own language. The series is written by Peter Brett, who I think just finished his UK tour of so basically the tour itself was dedicated to the release of his well, not his last book, the last book of the Demon Cycle series, which consists of 5 books, and the last one has just been released. It is called The Core, which I haven't read yet. I don't have it yet. I will probably rectify that and get a copy of my own in the near future. And in the meantime, I'll probably try my best to avoid any spoilers. So yeah, basically that is what's going on here. If you have seen my previous streaming nights, then you will know that all of this, you know, these 3 days of streaming different games with Demon Cycle themed characters or situations is just dedicated to, you know, the release of the final Demon Cycle book, the 5th one. Okay, so let's talk to this guy, Emir Radun, one of our friends. Well, not a friend personally, but he belongs to the Sultanate, so we are allies. Okay, I wish to ask you something. Aye, what is it? What is the realm doing? We are assembling the army. We have assembled some of the vessels, but we will wait until we have more before venturing into enemy territory. I disagree with this strategy. I would prefer to go on the offensive now. Would you say then that Emir Diul should no longer be marshal? But in our situation, basically, the marshal is kind of like the Sharum Ka of the Sultanate, and the lords are basically the Ka Sharum. No, Kai Sharum, sorry. Okay, so currently our Sharum Ka, quote unquote, is Emir Diul. I will make up my mind on this matter without your persuasion, sir. Fine then. Well, I mean, we are not on good terms with each other, so... Okay, but what are you and your men doing? We are scouting for the enemy around Yamiche Castle. I will guard the areas near my home. I am not participating in the Marshal's campaign because I do not know where to find our main army. Okay, but do you know where our Marshal is? Emir Diru is in the field and should be close to Nara at the moment. Well, then you do know where the main army is. Okay, where is Nara? Nara. There are a lot of different names on the map, but you can just go to your notes, locations, and there is an alphabetical list of the different places on the map, and you can actually click up here to show that particular place on the map, and it will show you. Oh, okay, it's down there. Well, I'm not going back there. I will look for adventure on my own, which will hopefully not end in disaster. I am confident. I am not going to siege a castle on my own. Well, for one, it's like full of soldiers. There was a big force here that came through. Well, not that big actually. Someone is following me. It's a Swadian lord. I could harass the people of Shelez, but there is no glory in defeating peasants. I could loot the place, obviously, but I am also good on money and food. Actually, we are eating up our resources here. Ah, Nizar has leveled up, so let's talk to him. Yes, so Valeroswam, what can you tell me about your skills? Alright, let me tell you. And basically this is the same thing with your character. You can level up your named NPCs, the guys that you fight alongside with you, and sort of tailor them to your own taste. If you want to, you know, make all of them train all of them into archers or, you know, up close warriors, then this is where you do that. Nizar is a cavalry swordsman, so let's increase his maybe agility, because that helps with movement speed, horse riding, that sort of stuff, all related to you know, him being a cavalry person. Of course, I could also improve Iron Flesh, which increases his health. And let's put a couple of points into one-handed, because he is using a sword, I think. Let's have a look at that too. Yep, balanced Nordic sword and a shield. Works for him. Okay, let's upgrade a couple of these dudes here. Tribesman. Okay, all good. It's a little bit daring, because I have no idea what the Rodok armies are doing. I might just run into them. Hello. Oh, well, he's already running away. Oh, wait, is it a king? That is King Greveth. Should I clash with King Greveth? What is his army consist of? One thing about the Rodoks is that they don't have cavalry. They just can't train their own people into cavalry people. So I guess that's an advantage. But on the other hand, they have a lot of their units use spears, which is not that great against, well, cavalry. I mean a cavalry is not that great against spearmen, logically. They have a lot of crossbowmen. Not sure. It would feel kind of great to go up against an army like that, but I have doubts about our chance of success. I think they are also in you know, at war with these Swadians. Oh, we have some people here from our own. Let's see what sort of trouble we can cause here. What's going on here? Wait, who is fighting who here? I see yellow numbers. Oh, they ganged up on. I will help them. This is for honor, for glory, for being foolhardy, but we will attempt to help our friend in need. Actually, not sure where to go here. Basically, we are 2 to 1, basically, the situation. I'm a little bit short on words right now. They are like twice as many. They have twice as many soldiers compared to what we have. So I should actually get in and take out some of their troops. Oh, that's a good stab. You are dead. Oh, you look like an elite, so I'm just going to off you. Taste Crasian still is scum. I don't see a lot of green text on our log here, which means that we are not getting a lot of kills. Oh, you're done. Nice block, let me tell you. Nice. It was a little foolhardy of me to ride in here, but it sounded like the logical thing to do. We do not leave our allies to die against overwhelming forces, as Jardir has demonstrated in the second book, when the which tribe was it? One of the smaller tribes was in a bad situation in the maze, and Jardir and his men rode in to save them, which they did. So this is kind of like that against, well, human targets, obviously. Okay, let's go against the more heavily armored cavalry units here. No, 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 no. Okay, they have received reinforcements. That's delightful. I should help the archers here. Well, turns out these people have Swadian cavalry, which is pretty strong. The guys in red are all Swadians. I mean, the units. Let's just get out of this meat grinder here. Stab a couple of people in the face. Oh, that's just grand. Good effort. Ow. Do I even have people left? Well, it looks like a losing battle, but I am not one to give up. This will end poorly, I think. But I will fight to my last breath. Oh, that's not good. I'm expecting that someone will shoot me in the back with an arrow here. Well, they actually cornered me. Not ideal. I should just ride. This is the corner of the map, this is why I can't really move. Yeah. Well, we kind of went against the cannon here. I will attempt to fight, even if I don't have an awful lot of health. I cannot roleplay as Jardir and have him retreat from battle, it's just not him. It'll probably take a single arrow to kill me, but still, I will do what I can. That was a nice stab. Would be my... I probably should have waited. If I was following my usual calm-headed manner of fighting, then I would have waited for reinforcements to arrive and not just ride in to support and try to relieve like a group of 80 against like 400, which was a little bit stupid, but it was for the sake of, you know, playing the character and being brave and heroic. Well, so far it's been working. But mostly because their archers are focusing on other things, and I still have like other units which are still alive. Let's try and bring this guy down here. Oh, that went in. There you go. No. Stop. trying. That was poor. Who are they even shooting at here? Okay, that looks like a group of reinforcements coming in. They desperately need reinforcements, obviously. There you go. One of my people is still alive, that's good to see. They are just trying to catch me here. I'm just dodging arrows like crazy here. Whoa. Eventually they will run out of arrows, so I suppose that's one tactic we can follow, but like I said, I am not one to flee from a battle or run away from enemies. Well, it's quite a lot of people, and I'm pretty surprised that I am still alive. Apparently I still have some units, because they are not all turned against me. Well, I have reach, you have a sword. Oh, that was the horse, but... Oh, okay, I still have some units in the field. Whoa, not cool. Let's use the situation to our advantage here. There you go. It's one less to worry about. Would be nice if through some miracle I would actually win this fight. Not very likely, but I mean I'm not even supposed to be alive, considering my health bar right now. Let's try and bring this Kurgit guy down. Someone beat me to it. Oh no, he's dead. Oh well, that went in. That was a bad one. Sad. Well, all I can do is to... Well, let's just leave. I will admit defeat. Let's ride towards our friends here. No, leave me be. I will not begrudge you your victory the last time that we met, but I am anxious for another round. The odds are not in your favor today. You may fight us, but there is also no shame if you yield now. Well, yielding is out of the question. Am I in any shape to fight? Well, maybe the other guys are close enough to help me if I do. I'll try. Okay, that's not that bad, but I cannot actually fight because I have no health, so we will probably fail this one. Auto-resolving battles is never a good idea in this game, because most of the time you get a lot of casualties. Okay, attack. Unable to win a decisive victory here. 28 killed, they had 8 killed. How did that even work? Okay, it continues. A lot of us were killed, they not so much. Well, that's just bad. Well, that's not great. A majority has been taken prisoner by the Roloks. Not exactly how I wanted to wage this war against them. And now I'm like in their capital. I have Deshavi and Yeremus with me, which is very relieving. Well, on the plus side, I am really fast right now because it's just me and 2 cavalry people. I don't know why I'm calling them cavalry people, horsemen or knights. So I guess now we have the task that I impose upon myself with this decision of trying to save my friends here. No, you just Just stay there, Harrington. Or what are you? Haringoth. What? Under sequestration, what does that even mean? I haven't seen this before in the game. Sequestration. Not even sure what. That's one of my businesses. Let's just assume that I listened to Aban and, you know, established through his connections some businesses that bring me some money, which is realistic. True to the books too. Oh, well, that's... Oh, right. Okay, well, let's get some recruits. That's not much. Yamicha is actually one of my thieves, and this Haringoth just started looting the place. But I saw a couple of my friends heading that way, so maybe they will chase him away. And even if I don't receive payments from that village, it's no big deal, because right now I don't really have a lot of troops to, you know, pay. Well, that was a lot of people that just joined us. Wait. This area is supposed to belong to us. But suddenly a lot of this area now belongs to the Vaegirs. Did I miss like a declaration of war here? The Vaegirs are suddenly against us. Let's see. They have no outstanding issues with us. So what gives? What happened here? Why does it belong to the Vaegirs? How did this happen? How did the Rhodoks... Oh, that's why it's under sequestration. This is where I have that diverse that I was looking at in the budget reports, and the place has been taken over. I missed a lot. But I still don't understand what the situation here is. Well, never mind. Let's just try and adapt to this. Get an army. Did they take any of my inventory? Okay, no, my armor is still mine. And my weapons. No one here. I'm a little bit worried, because taking a capital city, or, well, not a capital, but a city in general, takes quite a big force. So where is that Rhodok army at this point? Are they like sieging a different place? Or just looting Shiba Zumur? Maybe. Okay, let's train my guys here. 3 of them already to be upgraded. No point coming to the castle. No one will join me from here, because that that village is basically dead. Let's check out Dorkova. Sultan Hakim wishes to inform you that the lords of Sarani Sultanate will be gathering for a feast at his great hall in Shariz. Is it really a time for a feast right now? I disagree. I think we should fight back. Okay, let's get some bread here. Okay, quick visit to the tavern, see what's what. It's a ransom broker, a traveler, hired blade. Do you have a need for mercenaries, sir? Me and 6 of my mates are looking for a master. We'll join you for Atalia. No. I mean, I have some cash still, but that is a little bit much for 7 soldiers, even if they are elite fighters. Let's get some more recruits. Should probably clash with some desert bandits too. Okay, anyone wants to fight me? You? Okay, they ganged up against me. No matter. We can handle this. Not much point in using tactics, they're all just cavalry, so I'm not exactly not that. They are all just infantry, so that's one kill. Oh, that was a miss. No, this is exactly not what I should be doing here. Let's get in a couple of good throws. Basically, it's a cloud of deserters, or not deserters, desert bandits. I think I'm out of the Jareds. Oh, well, that's brave. Riding into battle, basically with the equipment that a Nisharum would have. Whoa, stop it. Stop with your stone throwing. No, I got the battle I was wishing for. Those who survive this battle will be really experienced. But I should assist them as much as I can, because they are pro recruits still. The majority of them at least. And in fact a lot of them actually died. Okay, stop it. There. Maybe one of my guys will survive. Wow. This is not great. It's actually one of my named NPCs. There we go. I think that's the Shavi. One of my loyal Sharon thing. Hope that didn't reach him. Stop running. I think he might be actually fleeing now. Oh, maybe not. Well, this is riveting. There we go. Anything left for me to do? Oh, no, we won. Oh, actually, it was only 9 of them killed, and the rest were just wounded. So they survived, they were just incapacitated. Okay, well, let's hire a couple of these rescued prisoners that we have. Manhunters, that'll be useful. Let's get some fledgling Sharum thing as well. And some Kasharum too. They will be formidable warriors with a little work put in. Nice, balanced Jareds. Very valuable stuff. Couple of horses too. I can sell this. Alright, let's upgrade. Well, all of these people are ready to be upgraded into Serenit Footmen. The peasant woman will become a camp follower with a shield, some sort of cudgel I think, and a crossbow. And that's it. Okay, well, that was a successful battle, I would say. Some casualties, but that was to be expected. A lot less than I expected in the middle of the fight. It looked like all of them they just died. Okay, let's sell the items that I just got. Okay, maybe get some grain. Date fruit is not a food item here, surprisingly. It is only for trading. Oh, Okay, let's have a look in here. You are a mercenary crossbowman. That's not too bad. I'll get you. There you go. You belong to me now. They are too fast for us. I will not pursue them. Let's talk to this guy. Good to see you again, Amanjardir. He is cooperative. That's good. I heard that Count Turegor defeated you. But take heart. The tables will soon be turned. Okay, what is the realm doing now? We're gathering for a feast at Shari's. However, that may change shortly. We should try to defeat the enemy gathered near the Amice. Yeah, that's my village. Apparently there's an army there. How goes the war? We are at war with the Kingdom of Rhodoks. Okay, tell me more about that. The fighting has been hard and I'm afraid that we have been having the worst of it. Accurate. Sultan Hakim is anxious to reclaim old lands such as Bariye, now held by King Graveth. Alright. Where is our marshal? Emir Diul is in the field at the moment and should be close to Amashke at the moment. I'm not sure where that is. Also, this is like a really big insult. I'm not okay with this. They just sneaked in with an army and took the farthest away city from them. Why didn't they attack Shari's? They just straight up. I don't know how they did that. We are supposed to be a really strong fighting force, the Saranids, and they just pulled something like that off. Like I said, political situations change very rapidly in this game. Looks like someone is pursuing us. Oh, I can smell a fat person a mile away. Methinks yours could do with some lightening, eh? I'll give you nothing but cold steels, you scum. That came out really well. Okay, they have the upper hand, but I am Amanjardir, so I also have a couple of horsemen here, so actually let's just stick back, stay together, and then charge it. Whoops. There you go. First blood. Second. Third. Good. Another one over there. Okay, let me show you how throwing is done. That is not how it's done. That wasn't a hit either. Okay, well let me just help my guys here. Right, after my red-haired friend over there. Okay, he'll be busy with that guy. Oh, that was miss. 2. Right, to your assistance. There. Nice. They are learning. I mean, our guys. Oh, that wasn't deadly. This spear is pretty much the most powerful polearm that I could find in the game so far. And in most cases a charged hit, I mean me like charging full speed with my horse, which also matters a lot in the damage that you inflict on your target. So all of this combined is in most cases easily enough to like bring down even heavily armored units. Okay, well, I am alone again. I'm guessing a lot of my dudes have been knocked out. So I have to finish this fight myself. I'm not too worried. There you go. No, they know how to block. Use your skills that you have picked up during the tournaments. And basically you have it in the bag. Oh, what happened? Did you run out of arrows? Looks like it. That was one of the guys who just rode off into the distance. There you go. What are you planning to do here? Nothing. Glory be to Everarm. Okay, let's get some more farmers in our midst. Veteran footman, that's very welcome. And an archer. Some more weapons that we can sell. The rest is pretty cheap. Okay, upgrade time. Let's get skirmishers. Upgrade this farmer to a watchman. More camp followers. Okay. And right to Maviti. Eight Saranid recruits. Very good. Okay, well, not unexpected. Oh, don't you guys want to fight? Oh, he does.
Everything has a price. Even your
There's a toll for passing through this land payable to us. So if you don't mind, we'll just be collecting our due from your purse. Yeah, that's not going to happen, friend. Follow me, gentlemen. Ride information. Well, walk, more like. These are all just recruits, so nothing good will come out of this. Well, for them at least. My recruits. Can I land this shot? Or maybe this one? Oh, no. Oh, that was a hit. Nice. There, down you go. Okay, let's have these people. See, this is how you go. Pointy end goes in. Done. Done. You are blocked. And stabbed. That was a miss. Never mind. Oh, blocked. Nice. Sounds like some archers are pursuing me. Oh, almost missed him, but it actually worked. Okay, this time we actually have a couple of survivors. Oh, they are pretty capable too. Let's get this last guy. I don't think I have any throwing weapons. Calm down. Oh, another one. There. There we go. You're all very capable fighters, and I am proud to have you in my army. Let's get more farmers. Looks like these deserters, desert bandits have been busy attacking villagers in this area. There's a lot of villagers in this group.
can do it
Okay,
easy
another one, sure.
or the hard way.
Oh, we actually have the numbers this time. Okay, one of the peasant women is here as well. Okay, let me soften them up a bit. Oh, that must have hurt. Stop it. No. Wow, that was a skill shot right there. Well, I could punch him off his horse, I guess, but we do not intend to take prisoners here. There you go. Meet me in battle, Kerr. Oh, that's that was dramatic. Learn from my example. No casualties, nice. Oh, lot of rescued prisoners who are very useful. There you go. And a couple of looters, but they are not very valuable. Okay, some cash and a lot of XP. Get some veteran footmen and some archers. Some more footmen. Good. Did I actually recruit anyone? No. Okay, more people. Oh, you want to fight too? Well, 31 is maybe a little bit too much for us at this point. Especially with another 43 in tow. They're actually catching up to us because they have more horsemen than we do. Well, let's just recruit more people and...
Stand and deliver.
Okay, I think I managed to separate them. So we are more or less even here. Except for, you know, us being mostly infantry with cudgels and swords, and they have cavalry, but that should work. That should be fine. Let's leave the archers behind there. Order the infantry and the cavalry to charge in, and then I lead with a couple of nice trolls, which haven't made contact with anyone here. Oh, that went in nice. Oh, nice. There you go. Let's get rid of some of this cavalry here. They are slaughtering my people. How dare you? Okay. Seems like we have managed to scatter them. Slash kill them. That looked very painful. That's the way to do it. I think this guy is fleeing. Yep, victory. Brave in the night as they are brave in the day. Very valuable. Fortress 3. Let's ride to Mazig, one of my villages. We can probably get a lot of recruits from this place. And then, oh yeah, 24. Surprise guys, counterattack.
We'll have our pay, or we'll have our fun.
Sure you will. Not much point to tactics here. Let's just charge in. Cavalry charge like this can be pretty terrifying at first. But I'm basically just aggroing all of them and kiting them around so that my infantry have a chance of fighting. Oh, that actually made it. One more. Oh. Okay, time to have some fun with these bandits here. Oh. There we go. Who is this brave soul here? To go up against powerful Kai Sharum. I know I did say that Jardir is, well, the Shardamaka deliverer, but the political situation of this game, you know, with all these lords running around and serving a king, with me being one of them, is that kind of more like, it reminds me of the time when Jardir was only a Kai Sharum of Krasia. I suppose it's more accurate, but he is still a very powerful combatant nonetheless, Kai Sharum or no. Oh, nice. Want to avoid friendly fire, so I'm not going to throw Jarids into the midst of my troops. There. Everyone will hear your cries of glory, and will look upon you proudly. Let's get some more troops. Free for the taking, and I don't even have to train them myself. Horsemen, nice. I should probably find a place to sell all this stuff soon. And train these people. Ah, Huntress. Okay, let's get some footmen and a lot of skirmishers, because I like archers. We have a master archer now. Serenade footmen. Woman to camp follower. The veteran footman to horseman. And one infantry, maybe. That's decent. Okay, very nice. Okay, we are gaining our strength back. I think I'll probably stop the stream sometime soon, maybe in like 15 minutes or so. With work being tomorrow, so I can't linger too long on the internets and in the realm of Calradia. But to conclude the 3 days of the core anticipation gaming stream series, I kind of reached a state where it just rolls off the tongue really easily. So in conclusion, I enjoyed this series. I mean, this streaming series a lot. Like I said before, I'm not very experienced with streaming. I'm just a little bit... we could get a new follower here. I am a skilled swordsman. I can instruct your men in fighting. Ah, it's useful. 400, I can afford that. So we have a fighter who can train my troops. Useful. Let's get some more food. Cabbages. Nice. Bread. Some cheese. Okay. So it was good times doing these 3 separate nights of streaming in a Demon Cycle theme. First it was Dungeons of Dreadmore, then it was Dragon's Dogma. I enjoyed that a lot, and today it was Mount and Blade Warband. It was a little bit rough at one point, but we have managed to get out of the situation, and I think I have gained most of my strength back, and I gained a new follower. Get some more recruits from this place. So if you have been watching, well, either of the 3 different streams, I am really grateful that you took your time and decided to join in for this streaming for either of the 3 days. I really appreciate it. And if me talking about the Demon Cycle books and how I try to tie in the theme of the books or certain characters of the books into the world of the 3 different games that I played here. How if this got your interest in the books, then well, that's a win-win, I guess. I mean, I can wholeheartedly recommend the Demon Cycle to you if you like dark fantasy books, and especially pretty lengthy books. I mean, when I say lengthy, I think of the Hungarian version, which are like the size of a brick, each one of them. That's mostly because I guess the paper type and the editing of the books, I suppose. But they are considerably bigger than the English versions. But still, point is that the books are very rich in detail. The world building is pretty strong, especially, well, obviously it has to be strong in the first couple of books, because later on, well, the location doesn't really change. In the second and third books, there aren't any, well, the locations are there, of course, but some in the first book, some of the places are only mentioned. Like, you don't actually get to see the lake town of Lecton, aptly called, until the 4th book, I think. It is only referred to, so it that town only appears properly in the Skull Throne, the 4th book. So yeah, if you like fantasy books which are rich in detail, and there are a lot of smart interaction between the characters, and there's quite a bit of magic involved. There's a lot of fighting against demons, and people being desperate at first, not being able to fight against demons, but a couple of heroes rise up in the world of Teasa and Kraja, and they, through their experiences and well, quote-unquote quests, they figure out a way to actually fight back, and that's when there's a big turnaround in the whole story. But people being able to fight back against demons does not mean instant victory. I mean, in some ways it just complicates things a lot more. Not necessarily not necessarily only between the humans and the demons, but also between humans and humans. Like I said, there is quite a bit of political intrigue in the books too, so there are betrayals and, you know, throat cutting and whatnot. Okay, someone received. Oh, there we have a new marshal now, Emir Hamezan. I'm not sure if I am on good terms with him. Emir Hamezan sends word that he wishes you to join his new military campaign. You need to bring at least 20 troops. Okay, I have more than that. Way more. Okay, to join the army and... yeah. Okay, so apparently there's a big campaign about to start here. Where is this Hamezan fellow? He is an Emir. Hamezan. He is cooperative, that's good. He was at Halmar. Halmar is here. Could probably be able to find him and report in. Someone else. Is he actually in Halmar? Or maybe he already headed out for a siege. I think we have plenty of food. Let's ask someone in the castle. Ladies. Lady Shatha. Yeah. Where is the marshal? Hamezan is in the field and he should be close to Halmar. Okay, so he is around still. Thank you. Pay a visit to the... Okay, well, we don't need more troops right now. So he's around Halmar somewhere. I don't see him anywhere. Just villagers. Soldiers are ready to upgrade. Let's get some skirmishers. Archers here. Horsemen. Oh, caravan guard. Nice. Some Khargit skirmishers. Swardian militia. If I train these guys all the way up to their cavalry tree, so to say, or branch, they will become pretty formidable, heavily armored knights. Okay, something is going on in the village of Iinda. I'm not sure where it is. Iinda. Pretty sure it's a Rodok place, but it doesn't ring a bell. Oh, someone is looting all the way over here. Is anything here under siege, maybe? No. Well, still haven't seen the marshal. He's not inside. Okay, let's get an update. Rodoks and the Swadians have made peace. Well, I'm pretty sure the Swadians are relieved. They get to keep their 2 villages and their 2 forts. Okay, do you have something new on the location of the marshal? Oh, he's at Nara now. Is he retreating? Nara is back here. Maybe he's gathering his troops. Curious. Well, anyway, I think I will stop the stream here. This has been a good run. Challenging one. There has been a defeat. I wasn't planning that, but hey, Jardir has always been a character who never backed down, even if he was defeated by someone. He always came back stronger. And the same thing will apply here too. So, once more, thank you for joining me, either only today for this stream, or if you have been around for the rest, then for those as well. I will say one more time, if this stream series got you interested in the books, in the Demon Cycle by Peter Brett, I wholeheartedly recommend the series. Go ahead, read into it. You can probably read a sample on, well, basically anywhere where they sell books online. So read a sample, and if you like what you have read, then go for it. Okay, well, I don't actually have nothing to say to you right now. Meaning curious, not you, the watchers. Okay. So, one last time, thank you for joining in. I have been Old Niall, and this has been the third and last day 3 of the Core Anticipation Gaming Stream series. I will probably, well, for one, head off and get some sleep, because there's work tomorrow, and after that I will probably look into getting a copy of the Core, the fifth book of the series, the closing of a story that I have been reading for how long? 4 years, I think. Started reading the books in 2013. If you are interested in more content that I produce, then you should check out my YouTube channel, which is Old Niall Depot. You can find me on Twitter under the same name. And I also have an Instagram profile under the name Old Niall Depot, but, well, I don't really post too much stuff there at the moment. It's mostly just videos whenever I have the time to make them. Doesn't happen as much nowadays as it used to back in the day, but sometimes I still get the inspiration to make something cool and post it there. So check it out if you have the time and interest. Okay, closing the stream now. Thank you and have a nice evening or afternoon if you are in a different time zone, which you might be. See you.